My name is Hamse Daabjeerin. Welcome to our security update, where we talk about the latest security issues in Africa, and these are the stories making the headlines. UN engages in discussions to facilitate a secure security transition in Somalia. Sudan violence verging on pure evil in Darfur. UN warns. South Sudan military debunks allegations of coup attempt. Welcome to the program. In ongoing talks with Somalia and the African Union Transition Mission to Somalia, a UN official, Martha Pope, emphasized the organization's commitment to ensuring a successful security transition. In ongoing talks with Somalia and the African Union Transition Mission to Somalia, a UN official, Martha Pope, emphasized the organization's commitment to ensuring a successful security transition. The UN's objective is to facilitate the gradual withdrawal of ATMIS troops while empowering the Somalian security forces to assume full control without compromising security achievements, as reported by the official. UN Assistant Secretary General for Africa, Martha Pope, leading a recent delegation to Somalia, underscored her role in coordinating with ATMIS and the Somalia government. The primary focus is on executing the security transition in a manner that reinforces and consolidates the progress made. According to the established drawdown schedule, approximately 3,000 ATMIS forces were slated to depart Somalia by the end of September, with a gradual withdrawal expected to continue until December 2024. During discussions with senior leadership of ATMIS and the UN mission in Somalia, Pope stressed the significance of her visit in fortifying collaboration among ATMIS, the Somalia government, and international partners. The aim is to shape Somalia's security landscape post the anticipated ATMIS exit in December. Mohammed Al-Amin, the special representative of the chairperson of the AU Commission for Somalia and head of ATMIS, commended ATMIS for its pivotal role in stabilizing the country and ongoing efforts to ensure a seamless transfer of security responsibilities to the Somalia security forces. The UN humanitarian coordinator for Sudan, who described the current condition as horrific and grim, gave the warning on Friday as the conflict between the army and paramilitaries intensifies.
What is happening is verging on pure evil. Over half of the population, 25 million people, require assistance and protection.
The UN humanitarian coordinator for Sudan, Clementine Nkweta Salami, who described the current conditions as horrific and grim, gave the warning on Friday as the conflict between the army and paramilitaries intensifies. She said there has been unrelenting and appalling reports of sexual and gender-based violence, enforced disappearance, arbitrary detentions, and grave violations of human and children's rights. Nkweta Salami said she was worried about the risk of a repeat of the genocide of the early 2000s in this region of Western Sudan.
We keep saying that the situation is horrific and grim, but frankly, we are running out of words to describe the horror of what is happening in Sudan. We continue to receive unrelenting and appalling reports of sexual and gender-based violence, enforced disappearance, arbitrary detentions, and grave violations of human and children's rights. More than 6 million people have fled their homes and are displaced inside Sudan or in neighboring countries. They are not just numbers. They are individuals whose lives have been uprooted and changed forever.
Since April, forces loyal to Army Chief Abdel Fattah Burhan, Sudan's de facto head of state, have been at war with the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces commanded by his former deputy, Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo. In the latest wave of violence, the UN Refugee Agency reports that more than 800 people had been killed, nearly 100 shelters razed in the last few days by armed groups in Admata in West Darfur, an area that so far had been less affected by the conflict. It also warned in a statement that extensive looting had taken place, including UNHCR relief items. UNHCR Chief Filippo Grandi echoed Nkweita Salami's warning of the danger of a repeat of the horrors witnessed 2 decades ago when the Janjaweed militia was unleashed in response to a rebel uprising under the government of Omar al-Bashir. UNHCR said it was preparing for a new flood of refugees from the region into Chad, which is already hosting hundreds of thousands of Sudanese refugees.
The South Sudanese military has debunked rumors of an alleged coup attempt against President Salva Kiir. Major General Lu Rua Kwang, the official spokesman of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, responded to the allegations while speaking to Radio Tamazuj yesterday afternoon of the security meeting.
Major General Lu Rua Kwang, the official spokesman of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces (SSPDF), responded to the allegations while speaking to Radio Tamazuj Saturday afternoon after a security meeting. Lul described the reports of an attempted coup as unfounded allegations. He said, "Those who came up with claims of an attempted coup in Juba are terrible liars, and those are enemies of peace who want to cause panic among the population. If there had been an attempted coup, things could not have become normal like they are now in Juba. Who are the coup plotters, if I may ask them?" These allegations surfaced on social media, suggesting an orchestrated effort by several National Security Services officers to remove the 72-year-old Salva Kiir from power. President Kiir, who has ruled the oil-rich nation since its independence from neighboring Sudan in July 2011, was before independence the president of the semi-autonomous region of Southern Sudan and the first vice president of Sudan.
In the ongoing phase of anti-Al-Shabaab operations in South and Central Somalia, the federal government announced the execution of key Al-Shabaab ringleaders in Eldad district, Galgaduud region. The operation, strategically targeting the group, was conducted jointly by defense forces and local security personnel. But we will be back after the short break.
Making documentaries is one of the most creative craft and challenging endeavors you can be involved in. It is an effective strategy to inform, persuade, educate, defend the perspective, and shed light on various issues, policies, and activities. At CBA TV, documentary production is our forte. We capture every TikTok detail of events in highest resolution to tell the story you care about, from politics to human hunger, research-based content, educative and informative. We also help you project your story in a dynamic perspective that attracts the world views of the target audience, as there is no better or more powerful way to place the organization's values and achievements than to make an excellent documentary film. No doubt, our strength lies in these ventures, and we pride in many award-winning documentaries which have been earning accolades across Africa and beyond. Let's tell your story.
Welcome back again. In the ongoing second phase of anti-Al-Shabaab operations in South and Central Somalia, the federal government announced the execution of key Al-Shabaab ringleaders in Eldad district, Galgaduud region. The operation, strategically targeting the group, was conducted jointly by defense forces and local security personnel. In the ongoing second phase of anti-Al-Shabaab operations in South and Central Somalia, the federal government announced the execution of key Al-Shabaab ringleaders in Eldad district, Galgaduud region. The operation, strategically targeting the group, was conducted jointly by defense forces and local security personnel. Deputy Minister of Information Abdurrahman Yusuf Al-Adala officially confirmed the deaths to the country's news agency. The operation resulted in the execution of senior Al-Shabaab fighters, with additional members of the group apprehended during the military action. Among those apprehended is Abbas Garabshe, a notable figure in Eldad district, as reported by the federal government. However, Al-Shabaab has not yet responded to the government's claims. Furthermore, the forces reported the successful elimination of another prominent Al-Shabaab figure known as Hamse, pledging they will proceed with the activities until they remove Al-Shabaab from the country. Renewed hostilities have been reported between the Malian army, the Tuareg separatists, and rebel groups in the northern Kidal region. The clashes were reported by military, political, and insurgent sources, with no casualties confirmed.
Fierce fighting resumed on Sunday between the Malian army, Tuareg separatists, and rebel groups in the country's northern region. Clashes began earlier as the army announced on Thursday that it was starting strategic movement aimed at securing and eradicating all terrorist threats in the Kidal region. The Kidal Desert area, an essential region on the way to Algeria and a previous hotspot of insurgency, is home to approximately 25,000 people. The fighting was reported by military, political, and insurgent sources, according to AFP. However, facts such as the number of casualties or methods used could not be independently confirmed in the distant region. The military rulers in the West African country have made it a priority to re-establish sovereignty over all regions since taking over power in a coup in 2020. Mali has been struggling with internal security challenges following the outbreak of the Tuareg insurgency in 2012, inflicting heavy defeat on the army before agreeing to a ceasefire in 2014 and a peace deal in 2015. The 2012 clashes coincided with the fight against extremist terrorists that are spread to Burkina Faso and the Republic of Niger. Kamet Sadiq, Sibia TV.
President William Ruto hosted the president of the Transitional Sovereignty Council of Sudan, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, at the State House, Nairobi. The meeting, as per a statement from State House, primarily focused on addressing the prevailing security challenges in Sudan and the wider region.
Both leaders, recognizing the sluggish progress in Jeddah, emphasized the critical need to expedite effort for the cessation of hostilities and the provision of humanitarian assistance in Sudan. They committed to working towards the prompt convening of an IGAD summit aiming to accelerate the Jeddah process and forge a framework for an all-inclusive Sudanese dialogue as outlined in the joint statement. President Ruto, a staunch advocate for ending the violence that erupted on April 15, 2023 in Sudan, has consistently called for the establishment of a humanitarian corridor and lasting truce through parallel mediation forums. The conflict between the Sudanese Armed Forces (SAF) and the Rapid Support Forces (RSF) has resulted in a staggering 3 million been displaced and approximately 3,000 fatalities.
And with that story of President William Ruto hosted the president of the Transitional Sovereignty Council of Sudan, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, at State House, Nairobi. The meeting, as per a statement from State House, primarily focusing on addressing the prevailing security challenges in Sudan and the wider region, will wrap up our program for this time. Thank you for watching and see you soon.